Thank you for coming along this morning. We're here to announce an historic Memorandum of Understanding between Swimming Australia and the Australian Swimmers Association. After some very comprehensive negotiations, we've reached an agreement where, for the first time in the history of swimming in Australia, there'll be a revenue share between Swimming Australia and the ASA and the swimmers on all of our commercial, broadcast and licensing revenue. So this is we're really excited to announce this agreement because it represents a really big step forward in collaboration with between the organisation and the swimmers themselves, who share this common interest in seeing the sport grow, and I guess leveraging the green and gold pathway, particularly in towards 2032 Olympics and Paralympics in Brisbane. But I'd really like to thank Bronte, the president of ASA, and the board of the ASA for taking the time, working with us to come to this agreement so that we can really work together very well moving forward.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'd like to add my comments to that this is really an historic moment in our sport. It's the first time we've had this sort of agreement, and as we're seeing across sports in this nation and worldwide, athletes having a voice is important for the success of the sport. And the reason we wanted this agreement was to ensure that athlete voice gets included and elevated. And this Memorandum of Understanding means that we've got an ongoing relationship and we can work together to build the sport, which I think is how we create a strong future for everyone. In order to swim professionally and have a long career, finances play a big part in that, a very big part in that. And so to be able to tie the success of the sport to the swimmers sharing in that, I think is really important and a really important step forwards. Yeah, so the ASA, we started talking about this about 2 years ago with the swimming cohort, and then I'm very proud of the swimming group, which has supported our efforts. It's been quite a long time coming. They've been very patient, and at the same time doing their thing in the pool, but knowing that we're looking after them and getting this negotiation finished and finally signed off. So it's important for all swimmers to know that their voice is getting represented. Not every swimmer is going to care about every single meeting that happens because everyone's focused on their sport and what they're doing. So this week is a very important week, trials and focusing on swimming, and that's why we've waited until just after it to announce this. And the key things we're after is a long-lasting agreement that can stay for a while, and to be able to work collaboratively on things that are commercial, and then to be able to share in that success. That's the main thing, is that we're not trying to debilitate the sport by taking money away. We're trying to share in the success that comes to the sport via the success of the swimmers. So that's probably the biggest point. It's just figuring out exactly what that looks like. And like you said, this is something that hasn't happened before. So anything new probably takes quite a long time to figure out how that's going to work.
A lack of, I guess, that stability means that new people like myself need to get back up to speed. But I think we've always had that commitment to work with the swimmers. As Bronte said, it's a new thing for this sport. We're not an AFL, it's not the traditional sports that have that income that's shared between the sport and the athletes. So I think it was just there was a journey about, okay, how do we work together to make this the best outcome so that the sport continues to thrive alongside our swimmers and bring them into that tent. And we're really excited to kind of all be now in the same tent, so that any success is our success.
Yeah, I think the most important thing swimmers do is swim, and swim well, and they've done a very good job of that in the past 2 years. Where we look at strategically going in the next few years, and as we work towards what it looks like to not only do well in the pool but outside of the pool and elevate the sport, that's sort of for the future, to figure out what the years look like into 2032, because that is a huge opportunity for our sport. Yeah, it's different in all different countries. America's obviously the biggest one, and they don't have a similar model. There's also a bunch of issues in America with college athletes and what that looks like. So there's a lot more to navigate in America. So yeah, I think across the board in swimming, this is a huge step forward, because I don't think that there's another country that does it this exact way. Just to reiterate, it's more than just the revenue share. It's ensuring that our voice is present in the negotiations. Currently, there's not a huge amount to share, but the goal is that we work together and figure out how to make the sport stronger and stronger commercially, so that we can then all be sharing in that success.